Heyo everyone, Corey here. Today I wanted to talk about something kinda deep, so if you don't do well with relationship and love related topics, please click off the video now. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, so a few months back I broke up with my ex-girlfriend and wow, how do I put this? To preface, it was also basically my first big age gap relationship, and she's roughly 8 years older than me. So it was a good relationship until it wasn't. She would do some shit, and I was trying to talk to her about things so we could fix things, but she doesn't have her shit together basically, and she lets her family treat her badly, and she thinks she's stuck. Okay, I would understand that if we were still kids, but we ain't kids anymore, you know? She's, a full grown adult and she refuses to help herself essentially. The entire year or so that we were together, she never had a job and would just sit around all the time. She'd always mention she was lonely and whatever, but she doesn't actively try to fix that, you know? Personally, if I complain about something and if it's something I'm able to control, you better fucking believe I'm gonna fix it. If I didn't have friends, I'd find some. If I didn't like my home situation, I would move as soon as I can. Shit like that. The big issue I really had was she would randomly just ghost me for several hours or even a few days. And it's like, what the fuck? And most of the time she'd leave me on scene type shit. And then she'll finally text me and be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, my mom was having me clean or so. This happened 90% of the time we were in a relationship, by the way. I spent so much time giving her money I didn't have, buying her gifts and whatnot for Valentine's Day and Christmas. I could have went to Japan with all the money I spent on her. It's fucking insane to me that I even did this. So that basically brings us to now. A few months ago, an old friend of mine told me that she loves me, and before I got with my ex, I actually had a little crush on her, but I figured it was unrequited, because she was in a relationship at the time. At least I thought she was. It was hella complicated. But yeah, this friend said she loves me and wants to hang out and whatnot. I don't know if maybe she's just not my type or what. I told her we can hang out, but the whole dating thing is something I'm unsure of. And I'm not sure how to describe it. It's just I immediately thought when she said she loved me that she's older than me and has kids, and while the kids enjoy hanging out with me, it's just that I'm not all about that life, hell, I'm 22 and I'm still trying to figure my shit out and pay back the debt that I have from my car, trying to study for my CDL and whatnot. I have transportation, but I wouldn't feel comfortable driving it to her place. I'm okay with running to the store or something, okay, cool, but not an almost hour-long drive to her place to hang out. And it's not like I want to hang out just to be friends with benefits, I'm not really that type of person to engage in a situationship or a friends with benefits situation. It basically turned that way as well. Her sending her nudes and whatnot, and after I was at a crossroads for either going for it and living a little or just having pride in myself and getting out of that situation. And after a long time pondering and fighting those sexual urges, I'm 22 after all, and I can't say I'm not interested in sex or anything. It was a hard decision to make, but I decided, nah, it's not worth it. And I actually blocked her. I don't know, I just feel so numb to love now. I feel nothing when my ex texts me. Hell, she ended up texting me so damn often that I ended up blocking her. It's both annoying since she texted me a shit ton, and also funny because she can text me a shit ton after I broke up with her, but when we were dating, she couldn't be fucked. Also, I should mention that I brushed off my best friend and all of my other friends for the majority of the relationship because she would always want to hang out with me on the phone and whatnot. And honestly, it was boring as fuck. I'll be honest. I want to game. I want to watch videos. Her and I really had nothing to talk about besides, oh, how was work going? Or how was your day? You know what I mean? That small talk shit that goes basically nowhere. If I'm going to be in a long distance relationship, I want to be with someone that could game with me or watch YouTube with me or something. Just something with me. Basically, I hang out with my friends on Discord. I want to have that deep connection with someone and not be afraid of being myself around her. Also, yes, it was a long distance relationship, and I actually did go visit her once when I had my Fiesta. I made a POV driving video whenever I had it. I didn't make any other ones, but anyway, but I had to go see her behind her mom's back because she was literally too scared to ask her mom if I could come visit. So we just had to meet somewhere, and she just said, oh, I'm going somewhere, kind of thing. And like, I was trying to go see her again. I literally had money saved just to go see her again. But then her mom was like, no, not right now. Like, oh my Christ, bro. I understand parents being strict, but there's only so much I can take, especially if you're a full-grown adult. It was a mess. The worst part was those countless nights crying myself to sleep. Call me a baby if you want. I don't really give a shit about that whole toxic masculine Sigma mindset people have nowadays. My heart was hurting so damn much from those nights, being alone, not being able to talk to her, that when I broke up with her, I felt nothing but relief. I already felt like the relationship was over for the few months before I actually broke up with her, but I was just too scared. I thought, oh, maybe if I just stay with her, things will get better. Maybe time will fix things. Like, all of these maybes made me hesitant to break up with her for a few months. But at some point, I got sick of it, so I just cut it off. I couldn't do it anymore. And I just want to focus on myself and where I want to be in life. Looking back, her and I were not compatible in the slightest. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but opposites attract. And okay, yes, I can agree to an extent, personality-wise, but opposite hobbies don't really attract unless I have somewhat of an interest in it. Otherwise, it's gonna go in one ear, out the other. If you yap about something I have no interest in, I'm just gonna be barely listening and just saying stuff like, oh, that's cool. Just so you know I'm listening, even though I don't really care and I'm like completely lost because, it's not something I'm into. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel numb. Like, I felt numb to an old crush of mine saying she loves me and shit. Like, wow. Like, the only feeling I had when she told me was just being surprised. I felt like loving someone is just not for me at the moment, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I love my friends, yeah? But romantic shit is just like, nope. Like, yeah, of course I have the desire to be with someone and shit, but I don't know. It's hard to tell if I'm numb to it or if she's just not my type. Maybe I'm subconsciously learning what would work best for me after that breakup. And I mean, I guess it's a good thing. At least I got something out of that relationship. In the past, I would get feelings for someone and ask them out. And if they said yes, then like, okay, cool. And maybe people would ask me out. And I'd be like, we can give it a shot, Maybe I said yes subconsciously so they wouldn't go through the pain of rejection or something. I'm not quite sure. Funny thing, though, is that it's always ended up with them breaking up with me, except this most recent relationship. But yeah, to wrap up, maybe I'm numb to love or finally figuring out what's best for me. I mean, I'm content with where I am in life right now. I'm just trying to get my life together. I don't mind being single. I'm comfortable being alone or just have my friends, so that's a plus. And yes, I know, I'm young. Some people may think, oh, you're so young, it's not the end of the world. There's plenty more fish in the sea. And honestly, the dating situation nowadays is just fucking horrible, and I think it's best to stay away from it. We shall see, though. Maybe I'll stumble upon someone that is my type or something, and maybe it'll work out. But I feel like being in a serious relationship is not something in the cards for me, at least right now. And how the world is, I definitely don't want to have a kid going through the shit show that is the world right now, Not saying I want kids right now or anything. I want to at least have a good, stable career and be established before all that. I've grown up in a low-income environment for basically my whole life, and while money isn't everything, I still want to at least give my children the treatment that I think they deserve growing up because I wasn't able to get it myself. But anyways, thank you all for watching and listening to me ramble. It was a pretty long one. I apologize. If you have any other thoughts you want to add, and you're comfortable, feel free to leave a comment. And, I read all my comments. I mean, I'm a small creator. No one comments on my stuff usually. But, yeah, hope you all have a good one. And, it is me, Corey, and I am out.